Good evening. This evening we'll have a quiet meditative session where the Shiva Prana dominates, more designed for relaxing, stretching and working on the area of the sacral center, which means hip openers, working on the lumbar area of the spine, working on flexibility and inner balance. We start in seated position, interlacing the fingers, stretching out arms and shoulders. And we'll take a few breaths here. Close our eyes, relax the arms, and observe for a moment, how are you feeling here and now? And then we open our eyes. Fold the right foot in and we turn the hips towards the left leg. You can pull your left sit bone a little backward to create more space for the hips. We interlace the fingers once more and stretch out, and we stretch forward. Allow the hands to land. Breathe in and stretch out once more. Long spine, long belly. And at an exhale, we stretch forward. Breathe in, lengthen once more. And breathe out, stretch forward. And down towards the straight leg. Janu sirsasana, the head knee pose. A pose for opening the hips, working on the lumbar area of the spine, and mildly impacts on the sexual organs as well. And from here we won't do so much. We are merely into being. Using our breath to create inner space. With every exhale, we release tension. Allow it to flow out into the earth. And allow gravity and time to do the work. As I said earlier, in daily life, we often struggle with gravity and time. But in yoga, gravity and time are our friends. Allowing gravity to have you and allowing time to work deeper into the tissues makes an asana very profound. And whenever your mind gets bored, you can always return to your breath. Breathing in, feel the space. Breathing out from deeply out of the lower belly. Let go. an inhale, we come up. Breathe in, stretch out. And we breathe out. Observe for a moment. What the pose has done for you. And then we turn over towards the bent right leg with the hands under the shoulders, and the left leg is straight behind us. The right foot is merely a little bit towards the side, but if that means that your left hip is really coming up and your hips are not level anymore, you can also place the foot underneath your perineum. So either way, wiggle your hips a little bit to create space. And then stretching your arms with the chin a little towards the chest. We lift out of the pose by active arms while we sink deep into the pelvis, and we stretch the upper spine so that we feel the arch from the base of the skull into the spine, into the left leg. It's a very safe backward bend. And the attention is once more deep into the lower belly. The pose is called Ekapada Rajukapottanasana, which literally means the king of pigeons on one leg. In the West, it's often called the swan, or the one-legged swan. At an exhale, we stretch over the bent leg and we come into Supta Ekapada Rajukapottanasana, the laying king of pigeons on one leg, or the laying swan. And if you feel tension in your hips, you can come on your elbows. But when your hips are fine, you can relax and stretch your arms, rest your head. Rest completely over the bent leg. And breathe into the tight places. Breathe into your hips, into your groins, into your legs. And at an inhale, we come up again. Back into the seated pose. Then we sweep the left leg over, placing the foot on the outside of the right knee. When this means you can sit on both sit bones. If not, please feel free to stretch out your right leg, because then everybody can sit on both sit bones. Ardha matsyendrasana. The left knee is on top, the right arm comes over. And we have a long spine and a long neck. Imagine a crystal bowl filled with water that you balance on your head like those elegant Indian ladies. And from that poised position, you turn over and look gently over your left shoulder while the right arm embraces the left knee. The left hand is leaning somewhere behind you, and the whole body is in a twist. And remember, we don't go to our outer limitations. 80% is enough, so that there's still space to breathe deeply into the lower belly. And when you feel this doesn't challenge your body at all, you can always place your left arm under the right knee so that the hands find each other around the back, as long as this doesn't disturb your breath. Ardha matsyendrasana is seated twist dedicated to the half-god Matsyendra. Is quite a neutral pose. Neither the Shiva prana, the relaxing Shiva prana, nor the activating dynamic Shakti is very dominant. So it's quite a balanced pose, working on the belly organs, detoxifying the liver, and of course all twists are mobilizing the spine. And then at an inhale, we come back to center and we fold the left leg further over the right so that both knees are on top of each other and the feet are pointing towards the side. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to stretch out the lower leg, which is the right one. You can just fold your leg pretty flat. So the left knee is on top, right arm comes over, left arm comes underneath, right elbow is pointing towards the ceiling, and the hands find each other on the back. And when they don't, use your strap, drop yourself a line so that your arms are extended. The spine is long, the chest and the belly are free to breathe, the neck is free, and you're still sitting with a long spine. The pose is called Gomukhasana, cow's head. Needs a bit of imagination to see a cow's head in this pose. It's a pose working on the joints, the lubrication of the joints, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. And also this pose is a very detoxifying pose. Allow the breath to flow deeply into the lower belly and breathe actively out from the lower belly. then at an exhale, we release the arms. You can shake them out a little bit. You may feel it tickling around your joints. Then we place the fingertips on the floor. We breathe in, long spine, and we come into the second phase of Gomukhasana. We breathe out and fold ourselves over the bent legs. Allow the upper body to relax. Arms on either side of the knees. Breathe quietly in and out. Send your exhale and your loving attention towards those areas that resist. And breathe through those areas, creating inner space. And at an inhale, we come up. We stretch out, uncross the knees, stretch out the legs. Close the eyes and observe for a moment. It's by this moment of observation that you can become aware of the effects of an asana. And doing so, you create awareness within your body of what works for you, what's beneficial for you, which poses are right to do at this very moment. And that may be different at another time of the day, in another season, just another moment. Yoga is never static. And it's by learning to listen to your body that you can play with yoga and adapt your own program according to your needs of that very moment. We then close the legs. We breathe in and interlace the fingers. Stretch out. Pull your toes towards you. Push your heels away from you. And at an exhale, we stretch forward and down. At an inhale, we come up again. And at an exhale, we stretch down. It's a bit like a rowing movement, working from the belly muscles. You may want to use the bandhas to support the lower spine when you come up, stacking the vertebrae. And then next time we stretch forward and down. At an exhale, we stay there. want to stretch out once more while staying down, just lifting the head, stretching the neck, lengthening the spine and the belly, and stretch down. Paschimottanasana. Intense forward stretching of the wrist side of the body, which means the back side of the body, works deeply on the sacrum and the lumbar area of the spine. It's also a pose which is prescribed for menstruation problems, menopause problems, in short, working on the sexual organs, but it also stimulates the digestion. And you can choose to relax the upper spine completely, dropping the head, or you can choose to keep the chin a little towards the chest, stretching the neck in line with the upper spine. And again, work with your breath to create space within the pose. Use your exhale to breathe out inner blockages, resistance, any kind of burdens that you may have been carrying with you. The pose can become like a meditation in itself. Instead of getting bored and seeking distraction for your mind, stay with the breath. Surrender to the pose, surrender to gravity, and find comfort within the discomfort. Which is not only an art in yoga, it's an art of living. Finding comfort within the discomfort. And at an inhale, we look up. We come up and we stretch out once more. Beautifully done. Then we take our bolster for a moment of relaxation. We place it against our lower back, and very slowly, because our spine may feel a little bit tender, we lower ourselves on our elbows, and then allow your shoulders to drop on either side of the bolster. Allow the palms of your hands to fall apart and open. And relax. It's okay when your back feels a little bit tender, but it shouldn't hurt. Otherwise, you can just relax and enjoy. The benefit of the use of a bolster here, instead of choosing for an active backward bend, is that you can relax the muscles completely. after this intense stretching. Later on in other practices, we do want to work on our lower back muscles also. You need to balance the stretching, but it doesn't have to be necessarily in one session. Now we choose to have gentle support. Then we bend the knees, roll on our left side, take the bolster away, and fold the right leg over the left so that the knees are stacked upon each other. If that doesn't feel comfortable, or if you can't sit equally balanced on both sit bones, please stretch out the left leg and then fold the right knee over. So this time the right knee is on top, left arm comes up, right arm comes underneath. Left elbow is facing the ceiling and the hands find each other on the back. And if not, drop yourself a line with your strap. And you can walk your hands along the strap, approaching each other as much as you can. It may well be that you had no problem finding your hands on the other side, but we are never completely symmetrical. So usually one side is more rigid than the other, and it may mean that you need a strap now while you didn't on the other side, or vice versa. And that's okay. In yoga we do all asymmetrical poses both ways, and we tend to spend a bit more attention to the side which is less comfortable and more rigid. So the spine is straight, the neck is straight. Breathe deeply into the lower belly. Creating space with your exhale. Then, next exhale, we release the hands. You may want to shake your arms a little bit. Place the fingertips on the floor. Breathe in, stretch out. And breathe out, fold over the bent knees for the second phase of Gomukhasana. Relaxing the upper body over the bent knees. Allow your body to sink into the pose. Sink into your hips. breathe throughout your whole body, remaining connected, remaining one. When parts of the body feel uncomfortable, we may have a tendency to block them, to ignore them. But do embrace them with your loving attention and send your exhale towards those parts. And then at an inhale, we stretch out. We release the right leg a bit so that the foot comes next to the knee. We relax the arms. Lengthen the spine and the belly. Imagine again this crystal bowl filled with water on your head that you don't want to drop, that you want to maintain in balance. In order to twist from a long spine, instead of collapsing, dropping your head and look over your shoulder. You do it from a position where there is space in your belly, space in your chest. Your shoulders are low, your neck is long. Your ears are as far from the shoulders as possible. And if this gentle twist doesn't give any challenge to your body at all, you can bring your left arm under your right leg and the hands find each other on the back, as long as this doesn't disturb your breath. And there should still be length in your spine, in your belly. Maintain this deep belly breath. And then, at an inhale, we relax, come back to center. Sweep the right leg over and back. Stretch forward towards the bent left knee. Wiggle a little bit with your hips. And then stretch over the bent left leg. And relax. Stretch out your arms. Allow gravity to open your hips and groins. At an inhale, we come up. Place the hands under the shoulders. You may want to wiggle your hips once more. Make sure that your hips are level. Then lift yourself out of the pose by stretching the upper spine, stretching the neck. The chin is a little towards the chest. And feel the length in your body, the space to breathe. Be aware of this beautiful arch coming from the base of the skull, through the neck, into the whole spine and the right leg. So don't drop your head. The neck is in extension of the upper spine. And then we come back into seated position. And we turn towards the straight right leg. You can pull your right sit bone to bring your hips more into that direction. Breathe in, stretch out, and breathe out, stretch forward. Breathe in, lengthen your belly, lengthen your spine, and breathe out, stretch towards that leg. Janu, sirsasana once more. And from here, surrender to gravity. And at an inhale, we breathe in, stretch out, breathe out. And stretch out on your mat, pushing the heels away from you, stretching your arms along your ears, flattening your spine against the mat to create space in between the vertebrae. And then we relax, moment in Shavasana, and observe. Observe what the sequence has done for you.